Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be discussing the downtime compensation that players got for servers being kind of crazy the last few days, and also going over the new champions and kind of talking about their skills and what I think about them. So let's get into it. Alrighty, when you're in game, if you want to see what the downtime compensation was and what the new champions are, you can click these three little bars and click the news, and we'll see the downtime compensation here. Basically, players are going to have in their inbox 100 gems, 300 energy, 2 3-day 100% XP boosts, and 4 clan boss keys. Now, in my opinion, getting the 2 3-day XP boosts is fantastic. I mean, that's 6 days of double XP, and the servers were only crazy for like 2 or 3 days, so I think this is like a net positive in the long run. So this is cool, and they also gave out some gems. 300 energy is a decent chunk, so all in all, pretty fair. Not amazing, but also not bad. So the downtime compensation seems pretty decent. Getting into the new champions, lots of new champions. I think it was 16 new champions, 4 legendaries, 3 epics, 7 rares, and 2 uncommons. So let's kind of dive in and start going over them here. The first one I'm going to go over is Arbiter in the High Elves, and the interesting note about this one is actually the reward if you can complete all of the missions. So you're guaranteed a legendary. I know it's kind of a grind to complete all these missions, but if you are able to do it, you are going to be rewarded with a guaranteed legendary Arbiter, and Arbiter is absolutely incredible, completely broken, just amazing in every way. So I'll go over why here. Let me pull up High Elves, and Arbiter is this one here. Okay, so for an A1, we've got a 30% chance to place a weaken, which is a good proc effect for A1. A2 is going to be an all damager with a 75% chance of decreasing the duration of enemy buffs. A3 is going to fill the turn meter of all allies and place a 50% increase attack on all allies for 2 turns, and heal all allies by 25% of their max HP if they are below half HP. Destiny's Call on A4, revive all dead allies to 35%, then fill the turn meters of all allies by 20%. You can get that down to a 5-turn cooldown, but really the most amazing ability for Arbiter is going to be her speed. A base speed of 120 is nuts. That's just god tier. And then the aura here is increase ally speed in the arena by 33%. So in the end game, you're going to see Arbiter being the team leader for every arena team. Like, if this isn't balanced or nerfed or anything, the end game is going to be Arbiter leading every single top tier arena team. That's just god tier speed and a god tier hero. So I would give her an A+ for like a rating. Alrighty, next let's go over Foley, who is a legendary in the Dark Elves. Dark Elves. I'm brain farting here when I'm trying to find these. Alright, which one was Foley? Let's try. Alright, there we go, I got it. You know, a lot of these heroes, kind of as a side note, have really cool artwork. Like, Foley looks cool with the 2 backhanded purple daggers and the cool helmet and armor. You know, they did a really good job on the artwork and the design of a lot of these heroes, in my opinion, but excuse me. A1 is going to be attack one enemy with a 20% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense buff. I don't like the 20%. It's going to be too inconsistent to get value out of the A1 for a legendary. A2, attack 4 times at random, each hit with a 35% chance of placing a leech. Again, inconsistent for something that's on a 4-turn cooldown. A3 is attack all enemies under 2 or more debuffs that are killed cannot be revived. Okay, but again, kind of an inconsistent theme for this character. The passive ability is heal this champion by 20% of their max HP and boost the turn meter by 50% whenever this ally places a stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, or whenever an enemy places a stun, freeze, sleep, or provoke on this champion, and then immediately remove all those debuffs. That's a cool ability to have as a passive that you can get down to 3 turns. At least that one's got a little bit more consistency, but again, you're kind of dependent on something happening instead of forcing something to happen. So I would give Foley a B in terms of how good he is as a legendary. Got some kind of cool abilities to get some value out of, but just a little bit too inconsistent. and has some potential to do well kind of in the early and mid game against the clan boss. Alright, next we're going to go over Hotcorn Smash Lord, who is a legendary for the Skinwalkers. Where are we at here? Let's see if I can get this right. There we go. Alright. A really cool name. Hotcorn Smash Lord is an awesome name for a legendary from the Skinwalkers, so that's cool. A1 is going to be attack one enemy with a 40% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Okay. The A2 is going to be a heal all allies by 15% of this champion's HP, remove all debuffs from allies, and then heal them an extra 10% for each removed debuff. That's actually a pretty decent heal, but it is a 4-turn that you can't get to 3 turns. A3 is going to be a really interesting one. Blood Offering receives damage equal to 50% of this champion's max HP, which means when he casts this ability, he's going to be damaging himself half of his max HP. So that means if he and it's not half of current, it's half of max. So if he has 40% HP, he's dead, kills himself. Always inflicts a normal hit. This will happen even if it kills the champion. If not killed, attacks all enemies, and the damage is actually pretty good, 50% of their max HP, so it's guaranteed to get them to half health. So if you have a couple AoE characters, get them below half, boom, he's guaranteed to finish everybody off, regardless of their, you know, defense and all that. So a decent ability to have on a 4-turn cooldown, but super risky and kind of tough to line up consistently. But definitely an interesting ability. And then the Aura increase ally HP by a huge amount, 33% in dungeons, so it's only in dungeons. I'm going to give him a B. I mean, he's decent for a legendary, not garbage, but kind of some weird stuff, and going to be mainly played in the arena. And we also don't know what proportional means. Damage is proportional to 50% of their max HP. You know, when I kind of read this the first time, I thought it would mean if they're under 50%, they're guaranteed to die. But I had my notes here something about highlighting proportional. And now that I think about it, you know, yeah, we don't really know what that means. We're going to have to kind of dive in and test him. So I would give him a B, B- in terms of how good he is as a legendary. Alright, and then the last legendary is going to be Drexthar Blood Twin. Again, another really cool name. And it's going to be in the Demon Spawn. Let's see if I can get this right here. Another really cool looking hero. I like the sword and the shield. Looking cool. A1 is going to be attack one enemy 3 times with a 30% chance of placing an HP burn debuff for 2 turns. So this is a really good kind of mid-game clan boss hero here already. Heal the champion by 20% of the damage inflicted if the target's under an HP burn, which we should be able to do if we have him. A2, attack all enemies with a 40% chance of placing a provoke debuff. Okay, it's kind of meh. A3, a 55% chance of placing an HP burn debuff when hit. So that's, again, another really good ability for the clan boss. Increase ally accuracy in all battles by 70%. That accuracy is also a really good thing to have in a clan boss setting. So he's going to be good in the clan boss and a few dungeons, but mainly going to be kind of a mid-game, really good clan boss fighter. So I would give him a B+ to an A-. He's going to have some really good utility in a really important section of the game, which is the clan boss. And let's go now to the epics. We've got Lika, who is in the Barbarians. Hope I said that right. It's either Lika or Alika. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. We've got an Archer, an A1 that has a 30% chance of placing an extra hit, and this hit is always critical. That's kind of a decent A1 there. A2 is attack one enemy, ignore 50% of the target's defense if their max HP is higher than this champion's max HP, which should be pretty common if she's an attack hero, kind of Archer type character. And getting that down to a 2-turn cooldown is a pretty decent A2. And then this A3 here, attack all enemies with a 35% chance of increasing the cooldowns of all enemy skills by 1 turn. That's has potential to be game-changing, but pretty inconsistent. Passive is revive the champion with 75% HP when killed. That's only available when Sakara is on the same team, and I don't know who Sakara is. If anybody does, let me know. It's a hero I haven't seen or heard of, so possibly a future release. Probably Sakara is going to be an epic barbarian coming down the road at some point, unless I missed her or something, so I don't think I did. But yeah, so kind of a spoiler alert there. I wonder if they meant to put that there or not. But Sakara, or Lika, I mean, I got confused. Lika has got some decent, I'm going to give her a B, B+ in terms of how good she is as an epic. And when I give a grade, it's how good they are in terms of their rarity. So obviously, if she were an uncommon, she'd be an A+. So when I say she's a B, B+, it's how good is she as an epic. So like when I say a legendary is a B, obviously if they were a rare, they would be an A. So, you know, I'm rating them in terms of how they are compared to their rarity. And then let's go to Cagebreaker is an epic in the Ogren tribes. Which one do we got here? Hey, nailed it. Again, a really cool looking helm. I like that. The A1, attack one enemy with a 40% chance of placing a 60% decreased debuff for 2 turns. That's a really good ability for like dungeons. Attack 4 times at random. Each hit has a 40% chance of placing a sleep debuff for 1 turn. A decent ability in the arena, but sleep isn't that great. A3 is attack all enemies, decrease each target's max HP by 50%, blah, blah, blah. Really only going to be good versus like a dungeon character that heals, like in the Spirit Keep. And then increase Spirit ally attack in all battles by 40%. A decent aura, but I think Spirit heroes are the most rare in the game. At least they seem like it. Like even in this kind of iteration of new characters, it's like 16 new characters and one of them is Spirit. And it just seems like kind of playing the game, it's hardest to get Spirit heroes. So that makes this aura even a little bit worse in my opinion. So Cagebreaker, what did I have him graded in my notes here? Yeah, I had a B-, and I kind of agree with that. How good is he in terms of being an epic? I would say C+, B-. And then we're going to go with another epic out of the Ogren tribes, which is Towering Titan. A1, a 40% chance. It's actually the same exact ability as the character I just went over previously. Attack one enemy with a 40% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense buff. A2, attack 4 times at random. Wait, is this the exact same? This is the exact same too. The A2 is exactly the same as Cagebreaker. Interesting. So I kind of disagree with that design concept. I know that they're from the same tribe and stuff. And kind of meant to be played together. Like if you read this, it's only available when Cagebreaker is on the same team. So I guess they're really trying to get them to stack, decrease defense, and apply sleep. But kind of boring in my opinion to design them like that, to be basically just copycat. A3, place 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns, 15% continuous heal on this champion for 2 turns, as well as a shield on this champion equal to 30%. That's a pretty decent A3 buff. Yeah, it's got all allies and this champion, so he's going to be a pretty tough hero. Battle Brothers will transfer 50% of all damage inflicted on Cagebreaker to this champion. Okay, so Towering Titan is probably a little bit better than Cagebreaker, so I would give him a B instead of a B- for Cagebreaker. But he is Void, so he's going to be a little bit tougher to get, and that's probably why he's a little bit better. Alright, next we're going to be going into the rares. That was the 3 epics that were introduced with this patch, so we're going to be going over Eviscerator, who is a rare from the Dark Elves. Oh, good. Now this is where it's going to be tough for me to click on him. Eviscerator, a rare from the Dark Elves, was a Void. No. Okay, there we go. A1 is going to be attack one enemy 2 times with a 15% chance of inflicting a critical hit and a 50% chance of placing a 2.5% poison if critical. So kind of inconsistent. I would like that to just be flat and not have to be critical. But it's an A1, so it's not going to be super incredible. Attack all enemies, 50% chance of a 30% increase or decreased debuff for 2 turns. Okay, I mean that's decent as an A2. Passive, attack an enemy champion with the default skill whenever they are healed or receive a buff. Attack one random enemy if multiple enemies. That's kind of a cool passive that would be fun to kind of play around with. Could be a decent early game clan boss fighter. Increase ally critical rate in the arena by 16%. So I'm going to give Eviscerator a B. Not as far as rares are concerned. Not great, not bad, just a B. Next, I'm going to be diving into Fortress Goon, who is a rare from the Ogren tribes. Alright. A rare in Ogren tribes. No. Fortress Goon, okay. A1 attack on enemy, 15% chance to place, decrease speed. That's kind of meh. Attack all enemies with a 40% chance of placing a 50% heal reduction. I mean, that's decent in like a spirit dungeon type setting. Heal all allies by 10% of their max HP. A 30% increased defense. I mean, for a 4-turn cooldown, it's decent. Not great. The aura has increased ally defense in dungeons by 23%. So, again, kind of underwhelming. B minus in terms of a rare is concerned. Next, I'm going to be going over Malbranch, who is a rare in the demon spawn. Where are we going here? Right here, I think. Really cool looking hero. I like that flame artwork on the face. Yeah, really cool looking hero there. Okay, A1 decreases bomb debuff detonation by 1 turn. Okay, that's going to require a lot of synergy to get value out of. Attack one enemy 2 times. Place a counter attack buff on this champion for 2 turns. A decent ability. Counter attack can be good. Attack one enemy with a 60% chance of placing a bomb debuff that detonates in 3 turns. Okay. And the aura increase ally speed in the arena by 16%. As far as a rare is concerned, I'm going to give her a B minus. Some interesting stuff, but nothing that really jumps off the page here for me. So yeah, B minus. Alright, next is going to be Painkeeper, a rare from, what, the Dark Elves, I think? I forgot to write that down, but I think it's Dark Elves. Painkeeper, a rare, Dark Elves. There we go. Okay. Another really cool looking hero here. A1, attack one enemy 2 times, fill the champion turn meter by 15%. I like that. It's a good A1. Consistent value that's impactful. Attack all enemies, then heal all allies by 25% of their max HP. That's good. It is really tough to get to the cooldown. Getting that to 4 turns, that would be a good ability. That would be a really good ability if you can get that to 4 turns for a rare. Combat Tactics, decrease the cooldowns of all allies by 1 turn, and you can get that to 4 turns. Okay. So Painkeeper is decent for a rare. Yeah, in my notes I had as a B+. I would say as far as a rare is concerned, I don't know if I can quite go A-. I would say, yeah, B+ is pretty fair. B+ with a possibility of A- if I got to kind of play around with it and theory craft more here. So B+, A- there. Definitely the best rare I've gone over so far here out of the new ones. Tormentor is next, who is a rare from the demon spawn. Alright. Tormentor, A1, attack one enemy, place an extra hit if it's critical. The extra hit is always a normal hit. Okay, so meh. Attack 2 times at random. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a 25% decrease accuracy. Very low impact there, so that's very meh. A3, attack one enemy 2 times. 50% chance of placing a block buffs debuff. Places a stun debuff for 1 turn. Again, that's very specific and meh. So Tormentor, I would give like a C minus. Pretty underwhelming seems. Kind of hard to justify putting a lot of skill tomes and levels into that hero. Just as kind of a first impression. Alright, next is Treefeller, who is a rare in the Orcs. Treefeller, rare in the Orcs. No. Alrighty, hey, I'm back. I had to kind of edit and cut and paste here because I couldn't find these champions that I was gonna go over. Like when we look here, the last two that I was gonna go over in the rares, Treefeller and Witness, they aren't even in my index. So we see here Treefeller and Witness rares in the Oryx and the Sacred Order, and I cannot find them. I even went and looked at the main post here from Plarium, and I don't see them. They're just not here. Is it? Yeah, it's not this. Yeah, they're just not listed. So, yeah, I apologize for kind of ending the video like that. I expected to be able to go over them and kind of read them and give you my live reaction, but I can't do that because they don't exist. They're not here. So, yeah, I'm going to have to kind of stay tuned on what those champions are like. But, yeah, I'm not going to go over the uncommons. You know, they are what they are. They're uncommon. They're going to be super early game viable, and then after that, they're going to be just food for you to feed other champions into. So, yeah, just kind of wrapping everything up here. The, Arbiter, the legendary, is completely broken. And then there was a couple decent heroes that are worth kind of investing in. You know, and the best rare was the Painkeeper, the Void, that I would say is like a B+, but yeah, other than the Arbiter and the Painkeeper rare, nothing that's like super GG for their rarity or anything, but definitely going to be fun to dive in and give them a look more in depth, kind of past the initial first reaction and see what we're going with. And you know, I'll keep you up to date. I've got a lot of projects going on this weekend. I'm going to be hopefully doing another hero guide. I'm still kind of trying to decide which hero it's going to be. So if you have any input on that, definitely let me know, and hopefully some other things coming soon. So yeah, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good rest of your day. Peace.